Today you join me inside the brand new 2019 Toyota 86, but not just any 86. This is the 86 TRD Special Edition package, and the Special Edition package adds a ton of performance parts to this car that we're going to get into in this review. And some people could say it could be an alternative car to the BRZ STI that we've always wanted but Subaru has never given us. So let's get into the powertrain options, the specs, and the exterior and interior features. Under the hood of the new 86 TRD is that same 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine as in the rest of the 86 lineup, which produces 205 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. Now, in a boxer style engine like this one, the cylinders are horizontally opposed and go at each other sort of like boxing gloves. And this lends to a really smooth drive, a really cool sounding engine note, but it also allows the engine to sit a lot lower. And you can see here with this beautifully red painted intake manifold that it is a lot lower than the windshield. And this allows the 86 to have a much lower center of gravity than most conventional cars, which improves handling by a lot. Now, something a lot of people complain about the 86 is that at 205 horsepower, it really doesn't produce enough power to be considered a track car. And honestly, I kind of agree with that, as my car produces almost as much horsepower and it's 34 years old. Now, moving along to the exterior of the new Toyota 86, this is where we're going to see most of the changes from the TRD Special Edition package, as they've added a ton of highlights to this car that we're going to touch on in just a moment. But first, we're going to talk about the bodywork they've added. Up front, we've got a nice extended front splitter up there to add a more aggressive look and maybe improve downforce by a little bit. Also on the side, we've got this nice side skirt here that improves downforce again, or just improves look. Some of this stuff is hard to tell. And then finally, in the rear of the car, you've got a nice wide spoiler lip added to the trunk. Now, my problem with all this aero work they've added is that it kind of makes it look like a cheap body kit. Now, obviously, with the 86, Toyota is trying to pander to a younger audience with this car, but it just doesn't look high quality when you see the fitment on this body kit. It almost looks like they took a base 86 and stuck a bunch of fiberglass on it, and it just doesn't make it for a very good looking, high quality, performance oriented exterior. It does look a little cheap in areas. But the TRD package does add a little bit more than just bodywork. We've also got these nice orange and yellow highlights on the side with the TRD logo. It's a nice limited edition 18-inch alloy rims with these red Brembo brake calipers behind them. And behind that whole setup, you've got some nice Sachs Performance dampers. And then finally, to top it all off, in the rear of the car, you've got another TRD logo and a stainless steel catback performance exhaust system. That sounds pretty decent. But now I say let's hop in and check out some of the added features in the interior of this car. So jumping into the interior of the new Toyota 86, you can see right away it's got the same basic layout as the rest of the 86 lineup and as the BRZ, but the TRD division does add quite a few nice features that really up the performance and the feel of this interior. Now, most of the interior is filled with this faux suede material, very similar to Alcantara, but not exactly the same. And I think for the price point, Toyota did a great job with this interior because it's not the highest quality materials. Obviously, I'm used to reviewing higher end cars like BMW, Mercedes, even Bugatti sometimes, but they've done a nice job of putting nicer materials where it really counts, here on the steering wheel, on the parking brake, and on the door sill. So these are the things you're going to be touching most. That's where it matters to have the higher quality, nicer feeling materials, so that's where Toyota put them. As far as actual features go, you have some nice sport seats with red contrast stitching added by the TRD package. They feel pretty comfortable. Obviously, I'm a very thin guy, so I won't be able to feel it as much as most customers will be, but I can feel that these side bolsters are very good for when you're going around fast turns, and they're pretty comfortable. Feel like they would be solid for long car trips, even if, again, the material is not quite as nice as you find on the steering wheel or in more expensive luxury cars. Now, as I said before, the TRD package does add some things to this interior, and that's namely the nice red contrast stitching we see all around the interior on the steering wheel, on the seats, on the parking brake, and on this manual transmission here. And that's something else I want to point out about the TRD, is that you can't get it with an automatic. The base 86 is available with a 6-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual. Here in the TRD, it's just going to be that 6-speed manual, so it's for enthusiasts who really enjoy the driving experience, and that's really cool that Toyota puts this in here as standard, the only option available, because it does really add a lot to the driving experience. So all around, the new 86 TRD does have a few areas where it can be improved upon. Obviously, some of the exterior aero work and some of the interior materials are not quite as good as they could be, but remember, this car has a base MSRP for the TRD Special Edition package of just over $30,000. So for that price, this is an incredible deal. You get really good quality for the price, and all around, I think it could be a pretty good alternative to the BRZ STI that Subaru never gave us. Alright guys, there you have my full in-depth review of the new Toyota 86 TRD Special Edition. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, comment your thoughts below, and go ahead and check out my channel if you haven't already, because I've got a ton of exotic supercar and hypercar reviews up. So remember to subscribe, and thanks for watching.